Welcome to Therapy with T. Thank you so much for being here. Before I talk about the question and all of that stuff, I just want to say, one, thank you for subscribing. If you've subscribed, that's hard to say. You should say it twice. Subscribed. It's a rough one. It's like literally. All right. Just to warn you, I squirrel out this whole reading, which I think is because everybody's energy is like really struggling to kind of like settle, because things have been really a lot. Okay, so please give me permission and consent to do this reading for you. And if you believe or agree with Spirit Team, Universe, whatever, ask them to say you have permission to go speak to her Spirit Team so that I can bring forth clear messages for helping, healing, and hope for the highest benefit of all involved. Awesome. Abracadabra. Doing a quick collective reading, and the question is, what do you need to hear right now? Okay. I'm going to get everything out on the table, and then I will start doing interpretation. So if this part is boring for you, go ahead and fast forward. This is the part that I like to fall asleep to personally. Okay. What am I currently... Can I say that someone's actually here and I'm doing a reading for them? Someone's actually here and I'm doing a reading for them. But it's collective as well. But they got to ask the question. Okay. All right. So what do I need to hear right now? What do I need to hear right now? But it's for the collective and the people in this room, including the 5 dogs. You can see my knee. Lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fine. 5, 6, 7. King of Wands, that's where you are currently. Interesting. Let's get them all turned over. Where you're going, Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. From King of Wands energy to Queen of Pentacles energy. Okay. My fear. Oh, the sun. The sun in my fear position. For my... what you're working towards, 2 of Cups. That makes sense. Something I would like to change. The Empress. Something to be grateful for. Queen of Swords. Giving maternal energy. And then Heart of the Matter, 9 of Swords. Okay, how interesting. Let me just think for a moment. I can't even tell if that's blurry or not. See. Continue. Well, it's always interesting with the suit cards because that is either you or represents a person. So, but this is a spread about like a question what you need to hear. So there's energy of going from King of Wands to Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to keep going because I know I'll be able to put that together in a little bit. Where you're headed towards, which is the Queen of Pentacles, you would then go to what you're afraid of, which is the sun, which is fascinating. To be scared of the sun, which is the brightest card in the deck. So how can we interpret that? fear of success, fear of being seen. But we'll keep going because it will make more sense as I put everything together. Then your aspirations. So what you're aspiring to is 2 of Cups, which is partnership. Or my card for partnership and a lot of people's card for relationship. It's 2 of Cups. So 2 coming together. The fear is that the sun will go away. The fear is that it'll like go from like this beautiful, colorful thing to a sad, dark thing. When the aspiration is to find, to couple up, to entangle. Something I would like to change would be the Empress, which is interesting. And I wonder if it's more about feeling like you are not creating enough. So we keep going. With 6, something to be grateful for. Queen of Swords, ability to communicate clearly and tell the truth. So someone turning into someone. Interesting. It's like a balance of being this very creative and flowing energy and being direct and telling the truth without harm. So going from something you would like to change. So I think that would be wanting to balance that truth and directness. That's what I would say. How does that? Yes, that is what it means. All right. Something to be grateful for. Yeah, so the balance, but then to be grateful for the ability to communicate truthfully. It does. It feels like more of it's saying like you should be able to appreciate that about yourself instead of seeing that in a negative way. Seeing that as a tool. Or you already see that as a tool and you're really recognizing, oh, okay, my ability to communicate truthfully doesn't have to be at odds with my desire to be creative or create something new. Okay. And then the heart of the path would be the 9 of Swords, which is the card of anxiety and insomnia, not having good sleep, and just being really stressed out. So what do you need to hear right now with that? I would hope that some of what I said would be talking about the anxiety between being afraid that it goes from color to black and white. It goes from like everything being great. You can see that everything's melting in this card. I imagine it was like this beautiful, colorful tree statue, and now it's all melting into the ground. So there's a fear that things will go dark or things won't be as good as you think they are now, and what you're truly looking for is this connection. Interesting. I don't really know. You'll have to leave me a comment if that makes sense to you. But there's a lot of anxiety and stress around this. So let's get some of these fun oracle cards and see if I can get some more clarity to sum it up. From King of Wands to Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles being abundance and like growth in nature, like a leadership that is just very stable. King of Wands is a very attractive kind of entrepreneur type. I keep getting this idea of like feeling like there has to be a choice between business, like business in the front, party in the back, like a mullet. Like you can't have both. Maybe someone out there really wants an excuse to cut their hair into a mullet. All right, we have a book or a game. A book or a game. Book or a game. I mean, again, I would say like thinking that life has to be a choice between fun and adulting. Do you have something to say? Okay, wait, we'll keep going. Book or a game? Student loan, 50-year plan. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of anxiety yeah, there's stress that you didn't create enough, or you haven't won enough, or you haven't paid off enough. There's like an I didn't do enough anxiety here that needs to be let go of. I think it's pretty clear that if we're focused on everything being bad, we're like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be bad? When is this going to be bad? When is this going to be bad? Or when is this going to like turn? Or this is too good to be true, this is going to get bad. Then that's what we're going to see. I wish I could be more specific. I think, since it's a collective reading, it doesn't resonate for everybody. So if it doesn't make sense, it's not for you, and that's okay. Don't push it. Okay, let's get a couple other messages, and then we're done here. That would be, I think, hearing what I said, which I don't remember, because I always forget what I said, because it's kind of just coming out. Like diarrhea. Oh no. My poor, I'm babysitting my foster dog that got adopted, and he has a collapsing trachea, so that's what you were hearing. It's not like collapsing at this moment, it's already happened. That's just how he is. If it was happening in this moment, I wouldn't be here. Okay, so game or book? It's not like a game, it's not a story, it's not a fairy tale. Okay, what else? Death card, awesome. Yeah, there's a death that's happening from King of Wands to Queen of Pentacles. I think it's a recognition that what you want is different than what you maybe were planning before. Maybe based on, not a fairy tale, but based on an idea of the American dream, or based on the idea of like, this is where I should be at this age. That kind of, like if the Hierophant came out, I'd be like, yeah, so like the old systems that do not apply to you now. Death is about like something really ending in a real way so that it can begin with a new. So whatever is beginning new. So maybe instead of seeing like the Sun card of like the color washing away, it's actually like just like dying, but something else comes into its place. So instead of thinking of it as like a forever death that's really horrible, we're thinking it's all part of it to get to, not even to get to, but that is life, right? Every day you just have to do it. It's not like there's an end really until you die. Not trying to get weird, but Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so Seven of Pentacles, it's like you reap what you sow. You planted your thing. Now you wait for harvest, and you didn't do this. Like the Six of Pentacles is about like being able to be generous after a lot of hard work. And Seven of Pentacles is then like being able to say, well, this is what I've done with the hard work. And being impatient about it, possibly. So I think that I'm pulling my own frustration into this reading. I claim some of that. I also am feeling that. It's almost a year since I started doing this, and I didn't expect to be like an overnight sensation at all, because that would have been terrifying. But I thought I'd have like 500 subscribers by a year, and that would be like normal. And let me tell you, I am so grateful for the 31 of you, and maybe less because some of you are my family, I know. But I didn't tell anybody really, except for very close friends and some family. So everyone else is a real stranger human out in the universe that actually wanted to watch my videos. And that's really amazing. But anyway, I digress and talk about myself. But obviously that needed to come out because you can relate to it somehow. All right, and then we have the Four of Pentacles, which can be about holding on too tightly to something, or like also can be about pride. This Four of Pentacles reminds me of Quasimodo, to be honest. which again just goes back to, so whoever needs to hear this, like, life is not a fairy tale like the Disney variety, but the way that you can make your like romance and life like such a great story is a true thing. I think you can create a story with somebody that is beautiful and wonderful, and it isn't a Disney movie. So someone needs to hear that, like, stop. Quasimodo was like this sad guy who lived in the bell tower, and nobody would give him a chance, right? Because he had like a deformed back, but he was like super intelligent and really creative and beautiful, and like, anyway, I don't need to tell you that story. The Disney version is like obviously a Disney version, not really the story of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But anyway, somebody needed to hear something about that with Quasimodo. So if for those of you who are feeling like you're not attractive enough to maybe have this, there's some real concern there. I think it's just a matter of everybody feels insecure at one point. Like, it's just part of our living in this world. It's really rough sometimes. It's so easy to compare to everything around you. So I would say do some like self-love mantras if you can, like figure out what will be the most important thing to hear. Okay, this is becoming a really long reading, so that's it. Anything else do we need to know? The devil. Yeah, super big, like super large change is happening. I think that you are realizing that you are no longer stuck or attached to some old ideas, some old systems, some old dreams or plans, and that what was holding you in place was you anyway. And I think you're realizing that. And as you realize that more and more, you create the story that you've been wanting the whole time. So that's what I have to say to you. I love it when people come and watch my videos, and I hope it finds the people it needs to, and that's really always has been the intention. For stopping by, and stay classy. Bye.